The League of Legends card game, against everybody's expectations, it's completely blowing up. Everybody's playing it. Everybody wants to play it. It's doing everything that the League of Legends community could have never dreamed of. It's got beautiful cards. It's got engaging gameplay, fierce competition, tournaments, you name it. Everything a card gamer could dream of. But here's the thing. I'm not talking about Legends of Runeterra. Obviously, I'm not, right? Riot's first attempt at a card game, not so great. Riot's second attempt at a card game is somehow just breaking all the records. That's both a good thing and a bad thing, because, spoiler alert, I made a pre-order for Riftbound cards, a Riftbound booster box, at the start of October or something. We're a couple of days into December. I still don't have anything, so everybody wants to play it. Just seems that only a select few can actually play it. This video is not about what is Riftbound to me, even though I will give my opinion from time to time. It's more about what's been happening with Riftbound, how's it doing right now, what are the promises they've made, and what does the future look like. It's going to be a video about what some of the good they've been doing, what some of the bad they've been doing, and what some of the really bad they've been doing. Okay, so let's kind of start with the obvious, and that's the product overview. Riftbound Origins, which is their first set, released on October 31. And the core products were the booster boxes, the packs. They also had champion decks, which were Jinx, Lee Sin, and Victor. And then they also had a foundational Proving Grounds box, which was a like $30 box that had a deck for Annie, Lux, Garen, and Master Yi. You'll find out later that $30, 30 euros that box was costing. If you buy it right now, you'll probably make 5 times that amount, because as it turns out, even though it's a beginner deck with cards that are like, some of them are strictly worse than other cards, there are also some really good cards in there. Yeah, scalpers are having a field day, I'll just say that much. So Flash is a 2-mana spell for the Chaos domain, the purple color. And what it does, it's a reaction spell, move up to 2 friendly units to base. And because this is in the $30 foundation box, it kind of blew my mind when I looked at the pricing of this card, and it's basically being sold for $30 a piece. You know, you can put up to 3 copies of them into your deck. So having 3 copies of Flash in your deck would probably cost you $90 if you can't get your hands on the foundation box, which is, it makes this game just so unapproachable for anyone that didn't get the pre-order. Well, there are cards that are also really expensive, and just to name one of them, Time Warp is a card that right now is $100. That's what it's going for. That was the last time I checked. The Echo, the Chrono Break spell from Runeterra, that's the art. 10 mana, you need to recycle 4 mind runes to play this, and it says take a turn after this one. Banish this. And then that banish this is just to avoid shenanigans, but apparently this card is in such high demand that it will cost you $100 just to get 1 copy of it into your deck. And this is only the beginning. It's only going to get worse from here, because if these cards are that good in the Origins box, that means that as time goes on, they usually only increase in value. But that is also going to depend on how much Riot decides to reprint those set 1 cards. We're waiting for the next set to release, which is called Spirit Forge, and we'll see what that does for the competition and the prices for collectors as well. But right now, there is another issue with those first 2 sets, and that is first of all, the missing rare issue, which means that a small percentage of packs were missing one of the 2 rares that were guaranteed in every single pack. There is a method to correct that if you can prove it, but it's just really tedious. I think it takes away so much of the hype of opening packs, knowing that there could be a missing rare, and that because of that, you have to like contact Riot, send proof, and pray that they fix your issue. But on top of that, the other one is that there are some cards that have rough edges. It kind of doesn't help that they also said that this wasn't going to be fully corrected until set 3. So apparently they have mitigated this for set 2, but it does kind of make me question the long-term collectability of these cards. It's nobody likes ugly cards, especially because if you want to get them rated, it will make it go from like a 9 to a 4 if the quarters are ugly. So I'll wait and see. I really hope they can fix this. So with all of that going on, there's the prices, the damages on the cards, and the just not having enough stock. There is also some drama going on in the competitive side of Riftbound. The main reason for that is that it is a new card game, so nobody really fully understands the rules of the game yet.
I don't know.
Everybody has a good idea of what's what, but there are always like these really like niche scenarios that almost never come up, and then when they happen in a tournament, sometimes even the judges just aren't trained well enough to make a clear and correct decision on it. I want to just bring up one big case that happened like last week, which happened around the pro player Savage, who used to be a content creator as well. So this happened during a top level feature match. Savage was recorded on stream repeatedly making plays that the community deemed rule violations. The core allegation centered on the mispayment of cost, specifically the power cost of major cards like the set champion spell, Showstopper. This power cost requires a player to recycle a rune card back into their rune deck, which is a physical action. Basically, there are two different costs on cards. One is the mana, which you just need to like tap your runes, exhaust them, which means you are spending the mana. But some cards also have a recycling cost, which means you need to literally put them on the bottom of your deck. This is a very clear physical action. And apparently, Savage played the card too quickly, failing to perform the recycle cost, which means that the cost below the energy cost was not paid, and that resulted in him floating an unspent rune that he was able to later use to play a powerful reaction card, Unyielding Spirit, saving his unit and potentially winning the game. Now, to put this into, I'm just gonna make it easy, to put this into Runeterra cost, into Runeterra terms, let's say you have Zerad's champion spell, the 3 mana that says either destroy a landmark to deal 4 to something or destroy one of your mana gems to deal 4. Now, basically what Savage did is he didn't pay a landmark and he didn't pay the mana cost, which means that he had more mana to spend in later turns, and that mana resulted in him playing a card that he should not have enough mana for if he recycled properly. I really like this about Riftbound. Well, not the cheating. I really like about Riftbound is that they have these additional costs to kind of balance their cards. Sometimes you have to make a decision that is, do I want to have less mana in following turns so I can play this card now? And very often that's obviously like very worth it unless you're ramping into some big card. But it just really feels like this strategic depth is realized much better than in other card games that I have played because of these decisions, this planning ahead that you have to do. I have personally looked at Riftbound matches. I've played it on Tabletop Simulator. I have not been able to play it physically because obviously I still don't have my booster box, and I'm gonna go on a rant here, but I think it's crazy that without sounding too entitled, I have made content for League's first card game for pretty much 5 years, and I was never even approached by Riot about their second card game. Again, it's really hard to bring this up without sounding entitled or arrogant, but if I put myself beside the role that I have, right, and I go like 3 years back in time, wouldn't it have been completely crazy if Riot had physical card for something and they weren't going to approach Mogwai or Grappler, who were the biggest Runeterra content creators at the time? If I was just a fan, if I was the only one watching their content, and I see these other people that I've never heard of playing the other League of Legends card game, I'd be completely weirded out. Like, how are you not including these big names to promote something that they're already playing? It's like a side grade of it almost. It's, again, this sounds really arrogant, and yes, I want free stuff. I really, really want free stuff. Riot, please send me free stuff. I just bought a house. I am completely broke. Seriously, please send me free stuff. I just want to play the game, man. I pre-order stuff. I still don't have anything. I can't do anything with this thing that I want to interact with. It's, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Anyway, right now it looks like the strongest decks on Riftbound, and this is just me looking at tier list. I'm not deeply involved in the tournament scene. I'm sure people are going to disagree with it. People are going to say, actually, Kai'Sa's not that good. You're always going to get that. But right now, the top decks looks to be Kai'Sa, Master Yi, and then we have some variation of Set, Teemo, Annie that are also doing really well. What I find interesting here is that as far as I know, Master Yi and Annie are cards that are only available in the Proving Grounds Foundation box as well. So I don't even know how you're supposed to be playing these unless you somehow pre-ordered that.
It's a scam.
This whole, like, the way Riot has provided their product has been really weird to me, and not something I've ever seen done in this way before. It feels like it's only reserved for the people that were there from the very beginning, got lucky with their packs, or the people that somehow got stuff sent by Riot. I'm not sure what to think about it, but from the position that I am in, I'm just weirded out by it, because I would like to compete, but I can't. I have no way. As a Runeterra, as a League of Legends card game content creator, I cannot play Riftbound. It just, like, that's a weird thing to say, right? That is weird. Okay, anyway, I was talking about how I really like the locations from Riftbound. They kind of remind me of like a Marvel Snap kind of playstyle, where you're conquering these different locations. Another thing that I really like, and I think this is probably the smartest thing that Riftbound does, is the legends. So a legend, I'm just going to take one example here. A legend is basically what makes your deck. I have no better way of saying it, but if I look at a spirit forged card, I'm just gonna take any of the legends. Let's do Rumble. Actually, yeah, let's do Rumble. Okay, so Rumble is a new kind of subtype card. He is a legend that says your mechs have shield, which means they have +1 power when they're defenders. But the thing about legends is that because they are your deck, they're always on the board, and the text on their card is like a passive or active ability. Sometimes they allow you to tap or exhaust your legend to do an effect that's basically always there. It's comparable to the hero powers of Hearthstone. So Rumble is a red and blue rune legend, which means that I can only put blue and red cards in my deck. This is literally the deck definer. So in Runeterra, you know, my favorite deck of all time, if you were playing Blade Dance, that means you had to play Shurima, meaning you only had access to the yellow cards, and you had to play Ionia, meaning you only had access to the pink card. And it's the same here. But the reason this is so genius is because you have this one champion from Runeterra that is the face of this deck. And then they have like these alternate arts for these legends and signature version, and it's just, they're printing money is what I'm trying to say, but it's working. It works on me too. I think this is so cool. My favorite Runeterra champion, Zilean Victor. Could you imagine if Victor is like a champion card and he gets the colors?
Why are you blue?
The runes that let me play Zilean and Victor in his deck, I would lose my mind. But just having a potential Zilean legend that plays with time bombs because he is the face of the deck, I think is just so exciting. And I'm really happy for League of Legends players as well, because Riftbound just seems to do a much better job at reaching the general card game audience or the general League of Legends audience. And that is something that Runeterra just never really did well. Not only did they feel like making money, they also just didn't reach the audience that they could have because of the way it was marketed. Riftbound, it's making money. Like, you know, it's completely out of stock everywhere. The stuff that they printed is being sold immediately. So in that department, I think they're good. And I don't just think that, there is proof. Because while I was sitting here waiting for my booster box to arrive, I saw this little announcement on Twitter that they already have like, what, set 5 planned into the future? Yeah, I'm looking at the roadmap right now. So Origins released in October, at the end of October, that was set 1. Now we have Spirit Forge that comes out in February. Then we have Unleashed, which comes out in Q2 of 2026. Then we have Vendetta, and then we have Radiance. And apparently they're already planning up to set 10. So we're out here waiting for our stuff to arrive. Riot's already planning like years into the future, man. Good for them. That's all I can really say about that. Good for them. So the Spirit Forge, if you're a Runeterra player, it's actually pretty funny because this will sound familiar. There's the word Spirit and there's the word Forge. So Forged kind of references the equipment that they're adding to the game. You could equip your units now. Obviously, Ornn and Jax are also in it. And then there's the Spirit part, like Aurelia and Yone, I think, is in there too. I want to make it very clear, I am excited about Riftbound. I really want to play it, which is why I'm making this video, which is why I'm passionate about. But I do want to briefly bring up something that's just really off-putting to me. This is the thing that frustrates me. And this is something that if you are a Runeterra player, you will probably agree with. If you've never played Runeterra in your life, you're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm just going to give one example. There is a card that's going to be in Spirit Forged called Glask Mixologist. And the Runeterra players will know him as Barkeep. They've completely rebranded this guy into a Renata Glass follower. Like Renata Glass.
It's expensive to be poor.
To see them take these cards that were made with a purpose, that were made to synergize with things, that had voice lines and interaction with other cards, all of this is just completely gone. These are just standalone cards now. Everything about their identity has more or less been stripped away. And as a Runeterra player, this is really off-putting to me. I allowed myself into this world that they were building, and with Riftbound, it kind of feels like they're just like putting holes into that world. They're just tearing pieces out of it that don't make sense and that just don't fit together at all. And that's a real shame. I completely understand why, from a business perspective, this is a really good idea. I understand why they're doing it, especially if they weren't sure if Riftbound was going to be the big hit that that it ended up being. But yeah, again, seeing all these cards in Riftbound and then knowing that this is all art that I've already seen, it's either League of Legends art or Runeterra art, it feels weird. Don't get me wrong, just the ability to have some of your favorite champions and some of your favorite art as like a thing in your hand, a physical card, a physical artwork that you can collect is beautiful, and that's a really big win, and I like that. But I'm really looking forward to more of the unique art that they're doing specifically for Riftbound, like the new Jace card that's coming out. Jace, Man of Progress, and it's like the arcane version. He's holding like a Hextech gem in his hand, and this card looks so sick. And this is another thing that I quickly want to mention, and all of this I'll talk about way more in my Riftbound versus Runeterra video. But you can see that there's like this blue glow coming from the gem. It's like a blue glow on Jace's face. The entire image is kind of like tinted blue. And that I think that is because this is a mind card, a blue domain card. And this color coding, if you look at how Lorcana does it, every single card that they print and for every single color that their cards are part of are color coded to match that. It's just done really well. But because Riftbound is just taking these Runeterra cards, you get stuff like it's called like Dead Bloom Wanderer, Dead Bloom Predator or something. Yeah, the Dead Bloom Predator. It is literally the deep card, the 3-mana 3/2, the Dead Bloom Wanderer, and it's all green, and then it's in the orange domain. I just don't get it. It just looks so bad. Like there need to be like small hints of orange for me to really feel like I'm looking at a beautiful piece of art that was made for Riftbound and Riftbound alone. Yeah, that's my complaint. Just the way that the cards seem like they've just been randomly assigned different domains in Riftbound, as well as the fact that they have lost their purpose and their place in the world of Runeterra. The League of Legends lore just feels like it's not really... The Riftbound isn't really helping the League of Legends or Runeterra lore move forward. Yeah, I guess Legends of Runeterra just did such a good job at that maybe it's unfair to even ask that, but I just wanted to bring it up, and this is something that I struggle with, and this makes me less excited about Riftbound, but I know that they're going to do better in the future. And what really matters is this base product that they're delivering right now, this base product that they're setting up for success. And I'm excited for the future because, first of all, competing is really fun. I've played the game. It is an awesome game. Collecting some of your favorite champions from League of Legends and putting them in like a nice little collection box, just putting them up for display. I love it. This is all I could ask for as somebody who likes the League of Legends universe and the champions, lore, and world that they're building. It makes me excited. And the fact that we have that at the very least, it's good enough for now. One more thing before I end this video, and I need to make this clear because this isn't clear to most people. The existence of Riftbound is a net positive for Legends of Runeterra. Some of the art that's going to be made for Riftbound will likely end up in Legends of Runeterra as well. There's no reason these games cannot take artwork from each other, and I like that because the more unique cards we can get in Runeterra, the better. So right now, maybe it's just Runeterra's helping Riftbound, and in the future, it'll be Riftbound helping Runeterra. And at the end of the day, that makes both games better.